A low maintenance space. This request comes up more than you may think, and although it's somewhat difficult for me to wrap my head around the idea of a kitchen being low maintenance, there are some finishes you can choose to make your life just a little bit easier. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Like most of my topics, they come up from some sort of discussion with a client, and this one's no different. They're a busy couple, they love to cook, they have young kids, and they're looking to keep their kitchen as low maintenance as possible. Flooring is an oft forgotten part of kitchen design, and our kitchens are high traffic areas and a so-called wet zone. So we want some sort of moisture tolerance in there, maybe not quite a bathroom, but it needs to be able to handle water and liquids to a certain extent. LVP or LVT, luxury vinyl tiles would be at the top of my list. You can get them in planks, squares, rectangles, even traditional sheets. It can mimic stone, wood, tile patterns. The choices are really becoming endless. All of it is well equipped to handle both the traffic load and any moisture that's thrown at it. It's tough to scratch, nearly impossible to stain, and cleanup is quick and easy. Ceramic or porcelain tile can be another great choice when it comes to the kitchen, especially if low maintenance is one of your main goals. They are moisture resistant, highly resistant to stains, and can take a beating. Unlike, say, a natural stone, they also don't require sealing. The reason I put them slightly lower on this list is because of the grout lines. The grout is generally where you're going to see any of that staining or wear and tear. That all being said, there's a pretty long list of reasons why I don't typically like tile as my first choice when it comes to kitchens. And actually, you know what? While we're on tangents, let's talk about hardwood floors for a minute. Don't rule them out if they're acceptable in your particular climate. The reason I say don't rule them out is because when hardwood is installed and sealed properly, it can be bulletproof. It's gonna last for a long time. There is one true winner when it comes to cabinet doors or cabinet fronts, and that is flat panel or slab panel design. It is typically thought of as a little bit more of a modern design style. However, if low maintenance is really at the top of your list, one of your main goals, you shouldn't rule them out. With no details in the door front, there's nowhere for dirt, dust, or oils to settle. This makes cleaning as easy as wiping them down every now and then to keep them looking brand new. It's also worth noting that the type of finish can also impact the door front as well. A laminate or veneer with no texture or grain will typically be easier to keep looking clean versus one with more texture or design. If you're using natural wood slab doors, make sure they are sealed with a good sealer. So a few years ago, I pulled out a whole bunch of cabinets from a kitchen and I wanted to keep them. Actually, I wanted to keep the doors more specifically because they were solid wood. However, I really don't think they had been cleaned or washed or maybe even resealed in a really long time. Sliding my hands down the doors, I could literally feel that buildup of grease over time. And ultimately, although we would have sanded the doors down anyways, that wound up being the only way to get all of that crap off before we could reuse them in other projects. I also want to give an honorable mention to shaker style doors under this section. And I'm not talking kind of true 5-piece shaker doors with rails and stiles and a centerpiece. Those can be a downright pain to keep clean. That little groove at the bottom likes to just suck everything from your house into it. I'm talking about more of a faux style shaker with a laminated single front to it that's easy to wipe down. I have them down in my kitchen and they are a breeze to keep clean. While we're talking about cabinets, I also want to touch on color and tone. Darker paints and stains are great at hiding dirt or grime, but they show a lot of dust particles and fingerprints. I just added dark cabinets to the base of my kitchen, and with 3 kids, I'm keeping a close eye on how they're gonna fare over the next few months. On the other hand, white cabinets are great at hiding dust and fingerprints, but can show pretty well everything else. This is where earthy, neutral paint colors or medium wood tones can really shine. Medium wood stains are one of the best options when it comes to low maintenance choices for your kitchen. Believe it or not, they fare better wear and tear wise than darker stained woods, and you can touch them up far easier than painted cabinets. As an added bonus, if you pick a wood with a little bit of graining and texture to it, you can even hide some of those scratches and scuffs that develop over time. Some good wood choices to look for include hickory or oak. Just don't go staining it that goldeny orange color of the 90s. Countertops. Everyone's favorite topic. If I was to go by all of the comments on our countertop video series, you would think absolutely no one in the world likes or chooses quartz for their kitchens. However, I'm probably not the first to tell you that's not actually true. A lot of people choose quartz because it is a set it and forget it stone. Well, engineered stone. It's not real stone. Although quartz isn't perfect, no countertop actually is, it will stand up to every bit of wear and tear, cleans easily, and doesn't require any sealing. Just don't go setting your hot pots directly on your counter. The Backsplash is a tricky one. For a true low maintenance option, continue your countertops right up the wall for a seamless finished look. However, this is extremely design dependent and generally not the most budget conscious choice when it comes to your kitchen. For most people, I'd suggest looking into ceramic or porcelain tiles. Just like the flooring, they are nearly impervious to stains, don't require sealing, and will hold up to any moisture you throw at them. The weak point is once again the grout. It does require sealing and a regular cleaning to keep from building up with dirt or grease. Darker colors are a great choice here if you want an easier option. Just be aware that this can make grout lines stand out a little more amongst white tile. There are lots of touch points when it comes to your kitchen, but I want to focus on your cabinet hardware and faucets. Although it typically isn't my first choice when it comes to the aesthetic side of kitchens, it's really hard to beat brushed nickel. It's a tough finish, it stands up well to water spots and fingerprints, and it cleans really easily. Oil rubbed bronze comes in at a close second, but being a darker finish, it tends to show fingerprints a little bit more. One thing I will say though, avoid chrome at all costs. Any sort of shiny finish tends to just be a magnet for fingerprints, water spots, any sort of grease buildup, and it shines and reflects right back at you. Last but not least, I want to touch on paint. It's not just the color that can make a big difference in your space, it's also the finish. If easy to clean is really your ultimate and only goal, well, high gloss is the road to go. However, when it comes to the actual aesthetics and design and look of your kitchen, high gloss surfaces reflect a ton of light and often look shiny and reflective in nature. Not the best choice for a nice, warm, inviting space. This is why I like to focus around satin finishes. They are less porous than a flat finish, durable enough to stand up to kitchen activities, and still provide enough sheen for an easy clean. The only thing I would recommend or be cautious of, and this is purely anecdotal, maybe a professional painter or somebody with a lot of experience can chime in, is that satin finishes tend to show brush marks or roller marks a little more than some other finishes. That means keeping even pressure across an entire coat can make a really big difference in the final result. Well, if you're still with me at this point, thanks a ton for sticking around, and you probably also noticed that I didn't bring up appliances anywhere in this video. And I did that for a particular reason, and that's because I don't think any one finish stands out above the rest. Whether it's stainless steel, that newer black stainless steel, colored, white, black, they all tend to have the same problem. They show smudges, they show fingerprints. My toddler with yogurt covered fingers is gonna make marks on him, and I'm gonna see it. That's just a fact of life. So what I say, choose the appliances that you want and just accept that this is an area you're going to have to spend a little bit more time cleaning in your kitchen, and that's part of life. Thanks a ton for watching this video. Until the next one, bye-bye.